Okay, kindly let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. Well, so last week we started the conversation on social media strategy and then content creation, and we covered a few things, including channels and then content execution. Today we are going to talk about content marketing, digital strategy, digital campaign planning, and some little how do I put that? Some key things that we can know, some key definitions in the digital space, such as search engine optimization, artificial intelligence, and so on. So that's what we are going to cover for today. I will start with, I think, two questions that I remember from last week. Somebody asked about, I don't know whether the person is on the call now. She asked about how they can create, so this was on newsletters. They currently create their newsletters in Canva and they save it as PDF and they share. But how can they incorporate the newsletters into the MailChimp that I trained you? I did a training on. So there is a way that can be done. After the training, I would have a practical session. I'll just demonstrate that on my screen. So once you have your MailChimp set up, as part of the menus, there is a place there that you can import all your designs from Canva and other platforms and incorporate it into your newsletter there. So that is possible. So we would do that. Then a gentleman also asked that they have their channels, but they are not able to grow the channels. They are not able to get the engagements that they need. And I said that is what we are going to talk about this week. So that is where content marketing comes in. So if the gentleman is also on the call, just pay close attention and then we can get some good stuff from this session. So good morning once again. We are starting on content marketing. Now, what is content marketing even? And if anybody has ever heard of content marketing, kindly let me know. You can just give a wave if anybody at all has anything about content marketing. Hello. Okay, I see a hand up. Anybody else who has heard about content marketing? Okay, so I assume content marketing is pretty much new to us. Okay, Elijah also has, so okay, I see another hand up. All right, good. So content marketing is nothing new and it is nothing strange. It is actually something that has been in the marketing space for long, but it is social media and the digital space that brought it alive. And it's become something that is very common and helping brands or helping organizations to carry their message across and also drive the kind of audience that they need in their network. So, simple definition, content marketing is about creating and sharing relevant contents, as in articles or blogs or videos or podcasts or any other media that drives attention to a need, that educates the people, that informs the people, or that entertains the people that is your target audience. So just see it as if you are a nonprofit that is into sponsoring brilliant but needy students or kids in your neighborhood or anywhere, what you will do in terms of content marketing is to produce a lot of content that will create attention to that particular need or that will educate the people about what you do. or that will give them some level of information about what you do, or content that basically entertains the people. So this is where you look at where your strength is. If your strength is in calling that needs to an attention and calling an attention to that particular need, or educating the people, wherever your strength falls, that is where you need to concentrate on. There are people who are able to do all four. There are others who are just able to do one or two or three of them. So this is basically what content marketing is. I'll go on and then show that in practical terms. So assuming you are a jollof seller, you sell jollof. Your regular marketing would be buy my jollof, which has goat meat and it comes with spicy shito, vegetable salad, chicken. You are going to talk about the ingredients, or you are going to talk about what makes up the jollof. The same way, if you were selling a phone, you would talk about the specifications of the phone. It has 3 gig RAM, it has 250 gig storage space. Those are the things that regular marketing does. But when you come to content marketing, and that's what I've indicated on the far right, you need to figure out how you can create content about the things you do. So, example, a jollof seller would write about how to prepare Ghana jollof. They can also write about 5 recipes for nutritious Ghana jollof, or jollof diaries that these will be video contents. So all these are contents that you create about the things that you are doing. And that is the difference between product marketing and content marketing. Now, for a lot of the people, they are consistently writing about their products and it gets boring. And that is where you need to intersperse with content so that you get the necessary attention that you will need. I'll go on and then indicate another example. If you were selling bags, you would typically write about your new backpacks that you have in stock, which are for school, work, trips, etc. You are just going to put a call to action, grab yours or call me or make your order. All these are product marketing. But when it comes to content marketing, it's the same thing you are doing, the same bag you are selling, but you're going to write about why you like using dark colored backpacks compared to light colored backpacks. And just this write up will bring people's attention to what products you are selling. In that article, you probably may not even mention your phone number or even call anybody to come and buy, but you would get people start asking you, oh, if they could get a black backpack from you, or where they could get a black backpack, because you have called an attention to that particular need of black backpacks. The second one is how to treat your light colored backpacks to last longer. A lot of people think when you are using backpacks and they are light colored, they don't last long because they get dirty early, they can get stained early and all that. But you are educating the people on how they can treat the bags so they can last longer. The third one is dark colored versus light colored backpacks. You are just creating a conversation. Why do people like them? Which one lasts longer? Which one combines well with your outfit? Which one do you take to school? Which one do you take for trips? It's just creating conversation about it. Now, the next is selecting the best backpack for the office. So this is education. You are educating the people about what they should look out for when they are selecting backpacks for office. In that write-up, you can indicate backpacks that are waterproof. You can indicate backpacks that have the laptop compartment in it. You can indicate backpacks that have power banks, ports for easy phone charging, backpacks that have a place for your files and all that. Backpacks, there are some backpacks that actually have a compartment where you can pack your lunch and all that. So these are all contents that you can create about your backpacks. So if you are selling a backpack, it's not just about going out every day and telling the people that you have backpacks that people can wear to school, take to work or trips, and that they should come and buy. You have to find a way to create content around it, and that is content marketing. I hope at this point we all understand what content marketing is. Can I get a thumbs up if everybody understands what content marketing is? Okay, so I get one from Elijah. All right. Okay, good. So I would move on to our space in the nonprofit space where we break down what content marketing looks like for nonprofits. So let's say an organization that is into HIV disease awareness and prevention. Now, how would your product marketing look like? Your regular communication for product marketing will be, and that is what we hear. We hear get tested, know your status, HIV testing is confidential and free. Protect yourself and others, use protection, use condoms consistently and then correctly. You're going to be writing about know your HIV status, know your partner status. Open communication is key to prevention. And this is what we have been hearing. It is not bad, it is good. It also creates awareness about the disease. But let's see how content marketing will look like. You choose a topic and say, my story, my voice, share your story. So you are asking people to share their stories about the HIV disease, stories about how you may have the disease, but taking good care of yourself can let you stay longer. You can also have some series about HIV 101, which will be a podcast. So you have people discussing the prevention, the keeping yourself healthy and all that. You can also have some expert conversations where you have people asking experts Q&As. You create a session for them. You can have a social media challenge. You can also have a day in the life of a doctor. So HIV doctors, so doctors who take care of protect themselves. You can have HIV word of the day. So on your social media page or your status, you can have every day there should be a word that explains what social media what HIV is and how you can prevent it and all. So basically, so these things don't end here. You can have a whole lot of content to write about how HIV disease is prevented and how you can create awareness. Now I will move to one other example, and this is an organization where they are advocating against gender-based violence. And the regular communication, as we've been seeing around, stop gender-based violence now. If you see abuse, speak up. Report domestic violence by calling this number, and then there will be a phone number there for you to call. Don't sit down and die. Let's fight gender-based violence together. It goes on and on and on and on and on. So this is the regular communication. Just putting it out there as it is, that take this action, right? But on the other side, you can also create a whole lot of content around gender-based violence through storytelling. So, for example, the days before Akosua became a victim. So, and definitely there are victims. So you identify these victims, you listen to their stories. How were they living? How happy and all that? How healthy and exciting they were. You take those stories, then you compare it with when they became victims of gender-based violence. There are people who have lost their eye, people who have lost part of their body, people who have scars and all that. So when you have these stories out there, it really creates that awareness and it pushes people to push for it to stop. So instead of just saying stop gender-based violence now, you tell a story about how Akosia used to live happily and how she is living now being a victim of gender-based violence. Now, the next one I wrote is who else gets affected by gender-based violence apart from Karen? I specifically indicated names, so then it's relatable. So when you mention Karen and there's a picture there, it is relatable. Somebody can easily relate that, oh, Karen is the victim. But who else gets affected? If Karen has kids, you will also be affected because if Karen has gender-based violence, is a victim, and the violence is actually giving her some depression or some ailments, making her visit the hospital, it will affect her kids. It will affect the time that she spends with her kids. It will affect how she takes care of her kids and all that. So gender-based violence doesn't affect just one person, the person that is directly being affected, but it affects other people. Sorry. If Karen works in an organization and every Monday and Thursday she has to visit the hospital because of gender-based violence, her organization will be affected because they won't get the full, um, uh, like the full time that Karen needs to work in that organization. So these are some of the stories that you can tell and still bring attention to the need for gender-based violence to stop. So I guess you can see the rest on the screen. So I wrote about the silent signals and how we don't notice them. There are times that people who are even being affected by gender-based, but they don't even notice because some of the signs are so silent and we need to write about them. Um, I also wrote about guess who survived gender-based violence yesterday. I wrote this so it's so specific to a particular situation. So somebody who might have been a victim and is now free, you find those stories and then you write about gender-based violence. So these are just examples, and I give examples of products and I give examples of advocacies so that we can easily understand them and then use them. So typically, you don't just have to write about I've built a borehole in Kumasi, I've built a borehole in Sumun. We built 200 boreholes across Ghana in 2024. No, you can find a way to write different stories that will still bring attention to the boreholes that you have built in all these villages and all that. Okay, so let's take note of content marketing. And that is something that really helps nonprofits or even bigger organizations or profit-making organizations to thrive and to get the kind of audience that they expect. Now, why content marketing? So some of the advantages. First, I'll talk about action. So it actually drives audience to take an action where you can make a bigger impact. I have a colleague who he doesn't take how do you call it, soft drinks, like those soft drinks, but there's a particular website that he goes to listen, he goes to read their blogs because they're always writing all these articles, they are writing stories, they are writing comic stories and all that. So the person will just go on there, and if there's an action for them to take, they can easily take those actions. If you hear a story, let me use the gender-based violence as an example. If you hear a story about somebody who has survived it, that will stick into your mind. And the next time you see there is somebody being a victim, you would find a way to get that person out of that situation. So it helps to drive audience action for bigger impact. Secondly, for audience engagement, we have noticed also that a lot of product marketing doesn't attract the audience. Rather, content marketing attracts a lot of audience. So when you do a lot of content marketing, it helps you to grow your audience, it helps you to grow your engagement as well. Then for brand awareness, it makes you consistent and drive your brand as top of mind. Top of mind basically meaning that if you are putting out a lot of stories about gender-based violence, let me use that as an example. When anybody sees your organization, that gender-based violence will come into their mind because you'll be synonymous to that particular advocacy. And also for search engine optimization, that's the SEO, the fourth one. It helps with your search engine rankings on Google. If you have a website or even now on social media, if you write a lot of these things, you would get your page coming up when people search on Google. So for example, if somebody is looking for advocates, organizations that support the advocacy for gender-based violence, and you are one of them, and you write a lot of articles, you post a lot of videos, you create a lot of content, your channel or your page come to the top of the Google search. That is search engine optimization. I will explain that in detail when we get to that side. Now, loyalty. It actually converts your followers to your loyal fans. So you see, the content marketing is such that you are educating the people and informing them. And when you educate people, they use that to make decisions. So if you write, for example, about the silent signals that leads to gender-based violence, and somebody comes to that realization that, oh, ABCD signals indicates that I am close to becoming a victim of gender-based violence, or my friend is close to becoming a victim of gender-based violence, you will take an action. And when you take that action to stop it, you most likely be loyal to the organization that taught you how you can actually get out of the situation. So these are the 5 key advantages why you have to incorporate content marketing in your digital marketing activities. These are not the only ones, there are a lot more, but I've just indicated the 5 key ones that I have identified. Okay. I just brought this slide so we would also recognize that it is not just by it just didn't happen that content is helping brands to grow. But this statement was actually made by Bill Gates some years back, where he explained how the internet is going to make content what all it is about today. So today we have a lot of content creators, and every one of them is actually driving a certain agenda, whether it's comedy, whether it's information or education. They are all driving a certain kind of agenda. And what they are doing, we, the organizations, are rather contacting these people to promote our brands for us. Meanwhile, we can by ourselves identify some of these content areas and also promote our own content so we can gain the followers that these content creators are gaining now. So we will go into influencer marketing, where it stems from content marketing and content creation. So influencer marketing basically talks about social media influencing. It talks about your ability to alter decision patterns of people with their content. Now, what it is if today a particular influencer just post on their status or on their channel that there is traffic at Shiashi. So if you are moving from 37 to Achimota, don't use Shiashi. That content that the person has posted there gain a lot of traction because he has the following and he has that influence, and everybody will divert their way to through maybe big farm area. Okay, now they have gone ahead to now promote brands. So if an influencer should just post a particular toothpaste that they are using, in the next few days you will see a lot of people towing that direction. It means that he has been able to alter the decision patterns of the people, and that is what all social media influencing is about. Your ability to alter decision patterns of the people with your content. So you as an organization, you need to be able to create content that will make people stop and pay attention, and whatever you need them to do, they will do it. So for example, if you want people to donate to your project, you should be able to get to the point where you only need to put a bank account or a Momo number and people will donate to you. So today we see a lot of influencers helping to gather funds and through crowdfunding, and also raise money for other social interventions. So those same things that they are doing, we should be able to do them as well. I want to use this gentleman as an example. I don't know if anybody knows this gentleman. If I can get a thumbs up, if you know this gentleman. Hello. Okay, so I'm sure we might have seen his video, and I will show an actual video of him creating content. Now, when it comes to social media influencing, the term used to describe your level of influence is called social currency, right? So social currency is typically the extent to which you are able to engage with and share information regarding a brand or yourself as an individual, okay, as part of your everyday life. So the extent to which you're able to do that determines how you are able to influence the people. So your social media influencing is being driven by your social currency. And the social currency is the extent to which you're able to engage and share information regarding yourself, your brand, your organization as part of your everyday social lives. So we don't need to just stick to the balls that we build or the sponsorships that we give to kids to attend school or the interventions that we undertake in our communities. We can actually write about what happens in our office on Mondays. We can write about how we receive new volunteers and how we treat our partners. There are a lot of things that you can write about as part of your everyday social life as an organization, and that will add to your social currency. And once you gain that strong currency, you'll be able to influence the people on social media. So again, to the gentleman who asked about how they can grow their engagement and then grow their followers on social media, this is the trick. And you have to be consistent with it. Now, what to expect from influencers, assuming you are even engaging other influencers to help you promote your products. What do you expect from them? First of all, they have to be social or social media. You can't partner an influencer who has a strong political lineage. It sometimes may hurt your organization or may hurt your brand. So you make sure they continue to be social on social media. They should create exciting content. Like I said earlier, content is king. So it's the number of contents and the consistency that drives that social currency. You have a plan to grow your followers. This is something that you don't see from a lot of influencers. They don't have a plan. They are just there. They are promoting, they are creating content and pushing it out there. But there should be a deliberate plan. You are running like a business. So what you are doing is you typically can have a 1 year plan, a 5 year plan, or even a 3 year plan that shows how you are going to grow your followers and how you are going to engage them. And the more followers you are able to grow, the more influential you become on social media, and it helps that engagement on your channels as well. So you should know and understand the objectives of the organization. So if you are engaging influencers to help you promote your agenda, they should be able to understand your objectives. So you don't engage an influencer where you want people to donate to your project and the influencer is talking about something else. It really doesn't help. The next is they must adopt new and relevant technologies. Example is content whitelisting. So typically in the digital space, there is a way you can let influencers be autonomous in terms of promoting your brand. They can actually place adverts on your behalf on their brand, and that helps your content to reach far more people than when you do it because they have a huge following. They can also include AI in the things that they do. So these are some of the things you look out for if you want to engage an influencer to help you promote your agenda or your organization's interventions. There are a few content areas that you can pick as an individual that can also help you grow your social currency. One is product reviews and recommendations. We see a lot of these guys there on YouTube and on TikTok recently that they specialize in specific areas, so devices, real estate, clothing, automobile, that is vehicles. So you pick an area and you review what products are in that space or in those spaces. Recently, I think it was yesterday or 3 days ago, iPhone was launched, and all the device product reviewers have picked it up and they are creating their contents around it. This is something that can drive attention to you as well. And I'm talking about you as an individual who is trying to grow their social currency. Second is short skits, and we see this thing a lot. There's a gentleman in Kumasi, I really love to enjoy his skits. His name is Ben South, and there are a whole lot of other skits, content creators who it's basically comedy, right? There are people who are creating pranks, healthy ones, of course. There are some pranks that are very dangerous. If you're not careful, you will get somebody attacking you. So healthy, exciting, something funny and more comic will help to also grow your social currency. Motivational contents, and these things come natural to you as a person. You really don't need to learn how to motivate. It has to come to you as a person naturally. So you identify all these spaces that I'm talking about, these areas, and you look at where it aligns with your natural talent. Then you can just step in and then take advantage of it. So knowledge sharing, that is thought leadership. It includes trainings and just sharing your knowledge in specific areas. Maybe you are a good real estate person, you can share knowledge in the space so that people can learn from you. I do a lot of digital skills and digital training, so I write about these things on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So that's something that you can also look at. Now there's photo modeling. There are a lot of beautiful photos online where it's just about taking good photos. They are people who are good in photos, and that alone helps them to create um, uh, like a very good social currency. Now so workout sessions. We've seen a lot of people at the gym today, and they teach other people different workouts for different objectives. If you want to remain healthy, there are workouts that you can do. If you want to build your muscle, there are workouts that you can do. And all these things get a lot of attention. So all these things that I'm talking about, social commentary, blogging, photography, all these are contents that are getting the attention. And you identify which one that aligns with your talent, then you take advantage of it. I'll go ahead and show a few examples. If you can still see my screen, the first one is a video from a Ghanaian chef. Her name is Chef Abby. I'm sure you may have seen her content on TikTok and on Instagram. And one of the very big influencers on TikTok. She's even won some awards. So what she does is she just cook. It's just cooking. Can you let me know if the video is playing correctly from your end?
Yes, it's playing.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So Chef Abby has this video and it's hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm saying Chef Abby has this video and the video already has over 120,000 likes on TikTok. And it's just a video of her cooking a dish from, I think, Niger. All she does is she picks a country's dish and then prepares it. That's it. It's just food preparation, and she's had a lot of attention across Instagram, YouTube, and then TikTok. So these are just contents that probably informing people of what kind of food people from Niger eat, or some of the popular foods that you can find in some different countries. just information, and she is gaining all the attention. The next video, let me go on and play the next video.
Hi, please. The sound is not. The video is playing, but we can't seem to hear the sound.
Hello, did you say something?
Yes, I was saying the video is playing all right, but there's no sound to it, please. If you could check it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm hearing the sound from my end. Please, did you hear the sound on the first video that I played?
No, nothing is playing.
Let me start again. Can you hear it now?
No.
No, please, we can't.
Okay, okay. I think it will be a technical hitch. I can hear it from my end. But what I was trying to demonstrate is just
I think
a motivation
you still
content.
state, hello, sir. You could still
Yes.
state the video title in the chat, and then maybe later people can just look for it.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll actually share the video itself, and then you can pick it up from there. Okay. Okay, sure. Thank you very much for that. So this is a motivational content, and this gentleman does motivations, and that's it. You go to his page, and he has over 127,000 followers on TikTok, and it's just motivation. From what I see, it just comes natural to him. That's something that aligns with his natural talent. So it makes it easy for him to be consistent with it. And that's something about content marketing and content creation. If you are not consistent, you will lose the following. So you need to be consistent. And for you to be consistent with anything, it has to be something that you love doing. Okay, so with all the areas that I mentioned, you look at the maybe that one or two places, one or two areas that really align with your natural talent, then you can just pick it up and take advantage of it. I'll go ahead and play the next video. That one, if you don't hear the sound, it won't change anything because it's more of action.
Alexa, what are my notifications?
Hello, can you come again? Okay, all right. So I'll share the videos in the comments so we can watch them. But all I'm trying to demonstrate is contents that people create and it gets attention. You have one that is information where Chef Abby is just showing you probably how to prepare meals from different African countries. The gentleman in the middle is giving motivation, and then Kabila May, who we always see, is actually making things look simple. So he picks content from other people, then he attaches his content that is indicating simplicity, right? So that's that, and these contents are what is gaining their attention, and it's something we can easily do. But we look at things that fall within our space. We look at things that we can creatively produce from the things that we are advocating for, or the interventions that we are undertaking. So those are just examples. Now I'll talk about content executions on your social media, which will also help to bring a lot of attention. For most organizations, it's all about their initiatives or their products, especially for the profit making. Consistently, they are posting products. But when you are doing product marketing alone, you tend to be boring, and you lose your audience, you lose their attention, to the point where people can be actually dropping off, right? So there are 6 key areas that you can look at and look for content from those areas. First is your products. I've talked about it. So in the case of the nonprofit, it's your initiatives or your interventions. Then second is content marketing, which I have explained in detail. The next is campaigns. Campaigns meaning you block a particular week or 2 or even months to talk about a specific agenda or a specific activity, right? Then the next is employee advocacy. You try to infuse activities of employees into the things that you do. And we are seeing this in recent times with some of the brands. There is Cowbell chocolate or Cowbell something. They are really doing well with bringing their employees into their content creation. Then we have engagements. Engagement meaning we are connecting to the interests and passion points of your audience. Some of the electronic brands, when Ghana is playing matches, they will definitely do a predict and win post where people will come and comment the scores before the match starts and all that. So all these are things that you use to engage people on your page. It shouldn't only be about your initiatives or your products, else your page will get boring and you won't get the necessary attention. The last is thought leadership. For everything we are doing, you have to see and project yourself as a thought leader in the space and be able to create informative content in that space. There is a lady who also shows how to cook. Her name is Na Ajele, Sweet Ajele also. So now Sweet Ajele has created a lot of content in food preparation to the point where she is now seen as a chef, like a professional chef, So that's how you take advantage of these content creations for your digital marketing group, right? So Elijah, I hope this actually helps, and then going forward we will see a lot of engagements on your channels. Now let's talk about results and then return on investment. This basically means you need to be able to measure the things you do, and you should know where you are. When you set your KPIs, then you're able to measure and see whether you are meeting the KPIs or not, so you can rework your strategy. Okay. Now, in terms of your reports, some people may probably be doing weekly reports, but I recommend monthly reports. So every month, what do you look out for? First is impressions. Impressions meaning how many people saw your contents on social media. Second is likes. How many people liked it? Because you are doing what you are doing and you are projecting it on social media to get that attention so that if you need people to take action, they can easily take action. But if you post and nobody likes it, it means that they are not aligned with what you are doing. Okay. The next is comments. If you have people engaging with your content, that's good for you. It will help your channels to grow. It will mean that people are interested in the things you are doing. So even the algorithm on social media will help your content to reach a lot more people rather than just the people following you. Then your followers. So if month 1, you have 200 followers, month 2, how many followers are you targeting? Maybe you are targeting to have 50% increment month on month. So if you have 200 followers in month 1, month 2, you are looking to have 300 followers. Month 3, you are looking to have 450 followers, and so on. So you need to be measuring all this just so you know you are on track. Then conversations. You should be able to drive conversations about your interventions. That's why I said if you are somebody who are building, or if you are an organization that is building boreholes for communities, it's not only enough to say you have built 200 boreholes in Suhum Krabakuta district or Florida district somewhere. You should be able to tell stories about it. You can actually tell a story about how somebody's life was saved with your intervention. That, and those stories are there because those are the gaps we see before we go ahead to give those interventions. Now, advocacy. Advocacy means that you have people who speak on your behalf. So after people talk about what you do, there should be people who will talk about who will defend you or who would want to even give you in sales. We will say they would actually advocate for the things that you are doing, the things that you are selling. So in your case, it's the same thing. They are going to talk about the good things that you are doing, and they will help to promote your agenda. The next is conversions. So in profit-making companies, everything we are doing on social media is to bring somebody to come and buy from us. So if we get the person to engage us in terms of wants to purchase, it means we have converted the person. In your case, maybe if you are raising funds and you get a lot of people coming in through these activities that you are doing on social media, those are conversions for you. If you are asking people to even attend the program and you get a lot of people, it means you are converting them to a particular course. Now, actions. Actions meaning that if you convert the person, what action does the person take? Does the person go ahead to complete whatever activity you want them to do in terms of the purchases? Somebody sees my post, calls me, and goes back or continues to take that action of buying. So that is action. Then you talk about the impact that your actions are able to make. Then testimonials. Testimonials meaning people are willing to talk about you, and basically what you would do is do a small video of them giving those testimonials where you can post again on your social media channels. Now, how do you measure these things? If you have a website, the basic thing is your Google Analytics. Google Analytics is free. So if you have a website and you don't have Google Analytics, you can tell your developer to incorporate Google Analytics for you. And like I said, it is free. Then the second is Meta Business. Meta Business is also free. So once you are on Facebook or Instagram, there is a way you can check. And last week I demonstrated that you can know your followers, where they are following you from, whether they are males or females. You can know which countries they are. Even in Ghana, you can know which regions they are from. So these are two free platforms that you can use. If you're on social media, you can use the Meta Business. If you have a website, you can use Google Analytics. Now, there are other ones that are paid, and they help you to even know more than what you can know on the social media. So a platform like Brand24, it can tell you what somebody is saying on another website about you. So if, for example, there's a publication in MyJoy Online, and the publication mentions your company name or your organization's name, the Brand24 can help you know. It will pull it out for you that on so and so day, this publication mentions you on their platform. The Keyhole platform also does the same thing. The Synthesio and then SimilarWeb, they all do the same thing. And they call that social listening or online listening. They are just platforms that help you to know where your names have been mentioned. And then you can know what people are saying about you, whether the sentiments are positive or the sentiments are negative. Let me take questions and then we can go on to digital strategy and then digital campaigns. So far we've talked about content marketing, we've talked about influencer marketing, and we've talked about how you can measure your digital activities. So I'll take questions and then we can continue.
Okay, Alex.
Yeah, we just posted something in the chat. Can you
Yeah.
see, sir? My name is Natalia. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Natalia.
Okay, so I just posted something in the chat. I think I was one of the last but one persons. You are speaking about content. We appreciate the conversation lines. And I just want to add my is that there are a few occasions people might not get to like what you post or comment what you post, but deep inside them,
Oh, we
Can you
lost you,
notice-
Natalia.
yeah. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, so I'm saying that there are few occasions that necessarily in your comment page, but you meet them outside somewhere and then they refer you or infer you to the time you posted. And so in such cases, should you assume that people just get jealous and they don't want to progress? I mean, be interested in your progress, and is that
Okay, all right. I wouldn't say
actually
they are jealous.
sometimes, yeah. And it's cute. Yes, it's kind of, I think that is exact word I have to use. Yeah, they're kind of jealous about things that, I mean, good people do, let me say. So instead of promoting, like I occasionally, I used to follow Dr. Perby. Anytime I see
Okay.
something about him, I'm enthused, I'm sort of moved to comment and all of that. I give all the good feedbacks, but I wonder if same people feel the same way that I do. But they also know deep inside them that, hey, this guy is a no-nonsense guy and can do good stuff in our country. So I sincerely, I don't know whether sometimes people fake out of content posting and all of that. Can you just give me a little bit of your views on that, if you can?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Natalia. So personally, I won't say, even though some people may be jealous, I won't say they are jealous. It's interest and interest levels. If the person, if your content really touches the person, they would interact. They would like or comment. They may like, they may be interested in your content to a certain level that doesn't push them to like or comment, but they can actually go and talk to somebody about it. And it may not be negative, it may still be positive comment. Now, there's something else we should know, that not all our followers are our fans. There is a difference. You have genuine fans, you would have genuine people who are for your good, but there are people also following you just to see whether you feel or something.
Exactly that.
So let's bear that in mind, but we don't have to pay attention to them. But they don't make any difference. Okay.
So you
yes.
realize that those people who actually are thinking that way, they come to follow you outright when your wins come. Okay, I've seen that happen a lot. So a lot of the times you realize that, I mean, even Dr. Pebby again, I followed up on the times he won. I mean, he was awarded, honored, and all. You see people flowing with it. But occasionally he would post something very touchy, very inspirational, and people are just sitting back. So you wonder. But I think it's something that got to do with some people of good hearts and good intent. It may not always know that outright, but I also feel there are different kinds of followers and people who will appreciate you. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Sure. All right. So keep sharing good content and diversify the content, be consistent with it, and you will get people engaging with it. All right. Michael, if you can read the questions in the chat for me, then I can address them before we move on.
Okay, yes, thank you. That's the main reason why I even raised my hand.
Okay.
Okay, so Archibald Adams says, does thought leadership make you an authority in that area? And then he asks again, are there any free tools that we can use to measure our digital efforts?
Okay, so let me start from the second one. The free tools, those are the ones I have mentioned. The first one is to check the metrics on your website. So the visits, where the people are visiting from, which pages they are visiting, what actions they are taking. So Google Analytics helps you, and Google Analytics is free. Then the second is your Meta Business Dashboard. It also helps you to see all these things. And I demonstrated that last week. I actually displayed my screen and showed all those things. Now, the other free ones, they are not totally free, like the Brand24, the Keyhole. I guess you can still see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Good. So Brand24, Keyhole, Synthesio, SimilarWeb, they can give you maybe a month trial or like a week trial. Then at least it gets you to know what people are saying about you. And then you go ahead to maybe subscribe to it or something. But it depends on your budget level. But the free ones, Meta Business is free. Google Analytics is also free. And if you have just these two to start with, it gives you an idea of your performance. it can give an idea of your performance. So that's it. Then the first question about thought leadership making you an expert in that space. Yes, that is all about thought leadership. And you have to be an expert before you become the thought leader. You should get to the level where if there is a topic to be discussed in a particular area, you come to people's mind, and you can come to people's mind. In marketing, we call it top of mind awareness. You can come to people's mind when you are consistent with that particular thing that you are doing. That will make them quickly map you to the agenda. So in my space, I get a lot of calls for digital skills training because I write about digital skills and leadership in the digital age. So when there are conversations in rooms, my name comes up, and that is thought leadership. There are people who are experts in energy, experts in education, experts in politics or policies, experts in finance and all that, to the point where even if there are issues, national issues, some radio stations will identify them and call them to get their opinion on those national issues. So, and for me, that is the highest level of thought leadership, where even on national television, I remember one time there was an earthquake around Wager, and the following morning they called an expert to ask their views about how it happened, why it happened, what we should be expecting as a country, and all that. And the person shared his views. So that is thought leadership, and you need to really immerse yourself in it and learn in the space. It's a continuous thing. So yes, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I believe that answers it. I just want to read the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So Nancy Avevo asks, how does all this touch into the distinct niche of nonprofits? Because this is a field that is civic and does not always have the pool that content creators or influencers enjoy.
Please take the question again for me.
Okay, she's asking, how does all this touch into the distinct niche of nonprofits? Because this is a field that is civic and does not always have the pool that content creators or influencers enjoy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You may not have the 1 million followers that Chef Abby has, but you can actually triple your current followers if you step into content marketing, right? It's something that helps you grow. And there are businesses today that are taking advantage of it. Example is UBA. I've seen some content from Stanbic Bank. On the regular, banks will not do skits or pranks, but today they have understood the space and they are doing it. And those are the things that get them to be viral. So when I was talking, I said it shouldn't, your social media posts should not only be your interventions. I know the nonprofit space is it's not a strictly social space. Or so what I mean by social is, let me rather say, it's not an entertainment space. So may not get the level of traction that the comedy and the entertainment content gets. But then again, you can still grow your like substantial followers that would help your brand to reach far and wide. An example is what I talked about, the social currency and how you can build that. It's you being able to create and share information about your everyday life. It may not be your personal everyday life, which you may not want people to know, but about your business. Like I said, how you receive interns can be content for you. How you receive volunteers in the office can be content for you. How you engage with stakeholders can be content for you. And I said, if you are a nonprofit that builds boreholes for villages, in your post, you don't have to write, I've built 200 boreholes in Sumun-Krakwakota district. You have to be creative about producing contents that would inform or educate people or call an attention to a particular need. So, for example, the need was not just to build a borehole, but rather people are dying of some sicknesses, maybe waterborne diseases or something. So when you build a borehole, you connect your story to how the borehole has reduced those sicknesses by 50%, 30%, or even 70%, right? And those are the stories that will really drive your brand. So let's think in that space and in those directions. All right, thank you. Michael, next question.
All right. Okay, there's one last question here. Charles says, most of the times I see the same people and even additional views to my posted content, but no likes or comments, but more views. Why no comments? Thank you.
Okay, all right. So if your post doesn't require that somebody will comment on it, they will not comment. Yes. And for that reason, there are people who deliberately would ask a question after their posts. So when they post the caption, after writing the caption, they would ask a question that would drive people to want to put a comment. Or you try to couch your captions to drive that level of engagement. Again, I indicated 6 different content areas that you can take advantage of. After your initiatives or your product, you come to your content marketing, you come to your campaigns, you come to your advocacy, you come to engagement. And when I was talking about engagement, I cited an example that I think Ghana played 3 days ago or so. If you are an NGO that is into youth development, it's okay to do a predict and win on your page. Ghana versus Mali, predict and win, maybe 50 cedi airtime, or it's just, you could even just do predict the scoreline for today. And those contents will drive a lot of people commenting. Now, let me also come back to the borehole intervention. You can actually just say you are looking to build 5 boreholes in a district, and people should tell you which district you should build the boreholes, and you would get the comments coming. So let's find creative ways of posting and then engaging, rather than always writing about the initiatives and leaving our audience out. All right. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I believe it does. And thank you very much.
I think, Michael, let's move on to I think Sarah's question. Because of time. Yeah, some of them are just comments, so we shouldn't really read the comment. Let's actually read the questions itself. So let's read the last question. Yeah.
Okay. So it's from Sarah Siedu. She's asking, at what point do you separate your personal social media platform management to your organizations in trying to create content for your organization?
I think I've gotten this question from another session before. So it depends. There are people who want to build the organization around them. So it makes it difficult if you want to separate your personal fraud. So let me take Prince Kofi Anwabeng, for example. He has PK Anwabeng Leadership Foundation. Because of the nature of the activity, it will be difficult to separate PK Anwabeng Leadership Foundation from PK Anwabeng himself. But if an organization, I'm trying to think through, but if there's another organization who is doing something totally different, it doesn't require the person's presence, it's just a totally different thing, then you can separate it. Now, even in separating it, you yourself can be an influencer in your own accord. It could be just teaching people how to even grow a business, or how to even enter into the non-profit space. And that can be your content area. Now, when you're able to build audience in that space, that you become an influencer for your organization. I hope you get what I mean. So if for some reason you need to separate your personal brand from your organization, you can also grow your social currency so that you become an influencer for your organization. And I see a few brands doing it. They themselves are the faces of the organizations. They are on the flyers. They are on their billboards and all that. So you can still do that. But like I said, it depends. If what you are doing is, if you yourself is attached, if you are attached to what you are doing, like the example about PK Anwabeng Leadership Foundation, then I won't advise you separate the two. But if you and the organization don't really have that bond, or if you are not tied up to it, then you can separate it. But you should still grow your social currency to be able to be an influencer for your organization. I met a gentleman in Zimbabwe last year who is an MD of, I think, a microfinance, and his content is about family, how he's deliberately growing, or like managing his family or something. So what the kids do, what he does with them, and that's where he creates his content from. And he's saying that that has even helped his company to gain more attention, because sometimes when he brings his kids to the office, they post that on the company's platforms, and it really drives attention. So you just need to find creative ways of doing this. The digital space is relatively new. I always say there's no formula. You just have to be creative about it, and you will break through. All right, thank you. Michael, we can go on.
Yes,
So yes,
I think the questions are done now, Michael. So Alex, you can move on.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. Okay, good. So we are moving on to digital strategy. I brought this topic because there are organizations who start and all they do is create channel and start posting, which is mostly not the right approach. For everything you are doing, you need to have a strategy behind it. And so we are going to go through what a typical digital strategy looks like, and how you can actually create your own digital strategy and then work with it. So what at all is digital strategy? It is a plan that uses all the digital technologies to help a business or organization or even an individual to achieve a desired goal. So first of all, you need to have a goal. Your organization has a goal. You have your vision, you have your mission, you have your objectives. So that is it. Now, if you are going online, what exactly do you want to achieve? Do you want people to know about you? Do you want people to support your project? Do you need partners? So if these are the things you need to really stipulate everything. Now, your data strategy will come in 5 different areas, right? First of all, how do you want to position yourself? How do you want to position yourself? What is your unique selling proposition? So in regular marketing, we will talk about what do you do that nobody is actually doing it, or what do you do that is very unique about you, and that you need to put it down. Then you go on to look at who are your target audience, right? So let's still talk about the borehole intervention. And I have my organization, maybe Alex Nonprofit or Alex NGO. What will be my unique selling proposition? For example, we can say I want to save kids from waterborne diseases, and that is why I'm building boreholes in deprived areas or deprived communities. So I want to help kids from waterborne diseases. That is my unique selling proposition. So that's how I am positioning my organization. Now, who are my target audience? My target audience, what are they supposed to do? They are, first of all, supposed to help me identify which areas that have these waterborne diseases where I can build boreholes. The other audience would be partners that can help me undertake this intervention. So including donors or people who can fund my project. Those are my target audience. So you need to list them and know where you can find them. Now, the next is what channels can help me to find these people, right? So you look at your I talked about channels last week. I said you need 3 channel categories. Your website, that is your own media, that is a pool. Your social media, which is somebody's platform, but helps you reach a lot more people. That is both a pull and a push platform. And then you need the email marketing, which is the newsletters. That is a push platform because that one helps you to consistently push content to these target audience. So you list your channels too. Then you come to your impact funnel, from awareness to action. Now, the impact funnel works such that if 200 people hear about you, how many of them are going to undertake the action you expect from them? So, for example, if you say donate to my project and 200 people see that post, how many of them would donate? That funnel, you need to really create it. And you need to know how you are able to nurture these people to be able to donate to your project. So I spoke about that last week as well, so I won't go into detail. Then you come to your measurement and your optimization. So measurement, again, I said for all your KPIs, how many followers you will need, the likes, the impressions, and all that. You list all that. And each and every month you have your reports to show you how you are performing. So this, you can just capture this, and then by yourself, you know what organizations you are working with. You indicate all the things that I have mentioned under each and every one, and this becomes your strategy. Now, you can build this into a whole document that actually tells you how you are even going to undertake the activities, right? So if you have audience, how do you even add a lot more, or how do you identify other audiences? So let's say I mentioned people who can help me to identify areas where there are waterborne diseases so I can build boreholes there. I talked about partners who can help me build more boreholes. I talked about donors. I talked about people who can fund my project. Now I can also research into other stakeholders or other audiences, like maybe government agencies or the government itself, where they can actually help me to also undertake those interventions. Because I'm in a country and I'm doing this to help the country. So I do that again so I can have permits easily for the things that I want to do. Because I don't think you can just get up and go and build a borehole anywhere. You probably need to engage with all those stakeholders. So all those people become your target audience. And in a way, your content should be able to influence them. When your content influence them, they become your loyal fans, and then it makes your work easier and you're able to achieve more. I hope this is understandable. Any questions on the strategy before I move on to the campaign? I think I'm running behind time. I'll quickly move on. Now we're talking about digital campaigns. So what are digital campaigns? Basically, it's also a plan that uses digital channels, content, and distributions to promote a product, a service, a brand, organization, business, or any agenda that you want to promote. So if you are again, I talked about the whole thing. So let's say Alex NGO, I want to run a campaign to drive awareness about a new disease or waterborne disease in a particular area, and the fact that I need people to come on board and support for us to build boreholes. So that becomes a campaign. Now, to run a campaign, you also need some specific items. So for example, the campaign should have a name, you should have a key message, you should have an objective for the campaign, and it has to have a duration. It doesn't have to last a lifetime. So let's say my campaign name will be Help Save a Life in Suhum Krabuakota or something. Yeah, and Help Save a Life. Let me just end it there. Help Save a Life. Then the key message will probably be support us by donating 1 Ghana or whatever. That is a straightforward thing. The objective is to be able to raise money that can build 20 boreholes in Suhum Krabuakota district. Then the campaign duration is 3 months. Now you have to plan all these and then you move on to your execution. Okay, now with your campaign execution and your timelines, you can break them into months, month 1, month 2, month 3. You can break them into weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And every time there should be an activity. And this is where the bulk of the work is. You need to list down everything you want to do within that campaign period, from engaging with the district executives or district chief executives of the district, the chiefs and all those people, engaging with some community leaders, engaging with some big men in the district to support your project, having your social media communications, putting out your press releases, and engaging with other stakeholders, running your crowdfunding on online, engaging with friends and family to support. Every single activity that you need to do needs to come under the execution. Now, after your execution, again, you need to measure. So you measure your general digital performances month on month, and you have to measure your campaign performances as well. So you look at your results. How many comms were put out? how many impressions did I have, how many likes, how many comments, engagements, then the call to action for people to donate, how many people made an attempt to donate, how many people actually donated, how much did they donate? And that actually helps you to measure whether the activity you did resulted in, like, met the objective that you want to meet. And remember, we said the objective was to build 20 boreholes in Sunukra district. So is the money that you have gotten able to build 20 boreholes? If it will be able to do it, yes, then you have met your objectives for that 3-month campaign. So this is how a digital campaign can run. You don't stick it to this alone. There are times where it is just an action the person needs to take. It can be washing of hands. I remember when COVID hit, there were campaigns around washing of hands, wearing of those masks. So all these are campaigns that you can run. So this brings me to the end of the digital campaigns. Any question on the campaigns? I think I have just about 5 minutes more left. Then I'll give the chance to Queen Esther to also tell us something small about branding in the nonprofit space. Okay. Without any question. Okay, Michael, can you check if there are questions in the comments so I can address them before Queen Esther comes on?
Okay, there is just one question I see.
Okay.
Let me just read that out. Assuming that sometimes businesses pay for content creation on Facebook or other platforms for professional purposes, isn't it? Do social media platforms have a means of sabotaging your content's followers, especially when you don't pay?
Okay. All right. So this is not established, but personally, it is something I have identified that if you don't do sponsored ads and you are not a creator, you are not a content creator, some of your posts, they don't reach the desired audience that they are supposed to reach. Typically, social media, when it started, almost all your followers will see everything you post. And then when they started monetizing it, they started limiting the people who see your posts. And the algorithm today is such that it gives priority to content creators more than businesses, because they expect the businesses and the corporate organizations to pay to promote. And the content creators are the people who are making the place exciting. So they can't restrict them. If you restrict them, the place gets boring. So we need to position ourselves partly as content creators so that the algorithm will work on our behalf. But if you have budget, I would recommend that you can also boost or promote some of your posts, especially if you are soliciting for funds. You need to promote so you reach a wider audience. Apart from that, find creative ways of publishing or producing content that will really catch people's attention. And like I mentioned, it should be informative, it should be educative, it should drive attention to a particular need, or it should be entertaining. Okay, so that's my answer to your question.
Okay, there is just one more, which I just want to read, and then we can just continue.
Okay.
Nancy also says again, what can account for a sudden loss in about 10 to 15 followers on Instagram for a nonprofit?
Okay. That I may have to look into it. I think my first comment would be it may be technical. I have experienced that, especially when you use sponsored ads to grow your followers. You may encounter these things, but if you have organic followers and you experience this, it may be technical.
Okay, so I think the questions are done. We can move on.
Okay, all right.
Hi, please. So sorry. So I'm the one that asked the last question. So if
Okay,
it's
Nancy.
technical, if it is technical, how do you deal with this, or how do you rectify the issue? Thank you.
Okay, so let's take Instagram or Facebook or Meta, for example. If they are working on something, they're always making upgrades and giving updates and all that, changing interfaces and all that. So in the course of doing that, some customers may be affected, and they are also always looking to disable fake accounts. There are accounts that people also report. So when people report certain accounts and they find them guilty, they take those accounts off. There are people who have about, like the same person, they have about 20 different accounts using it for all sort of things. And when they find out you are not using it in the right way, they may disable some of them. So all these can contribute to you losing a certain number of followers at a particular time. You can report it to Facebook or to Meta that this is what has happened, and you need clarification. They can explain to you what exactly happened. And some of the times when they are doing their technical things and they encounter these issues, they're able to reverse it. So they can add those followers back to you. Yeah, that's what I have experienced with them.
Okay, thank you. Because for a non-profit, mostly what we do is advocacy and
Yeah.
empowerment. So sometimes it's strange that we don't have the issue of people reporting their account or something like that. So I think it's based on what you're saying that probably one of their technical overhauls has created a problem, and would have to report to them, like you said, and see what the issue
Yeah.
is. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Right. My pleasure. Okay.
Okay,
Michael, you have
can
something
move on
to say?
now. Yeah, I think we can
Okay.
move on now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Sure. So my last slide.
Hello.
Talks.
Hello. I
Yes, I
had
can
raised
hear
my
you.
hand and I was talking. I'm not sure you heard me. Okay.
Oh, please go ahead.
So I
Hello,
wanted
you can go
to say
ahead.
that I'm adding on and some of my yeah. So what I'm
Okay.
saying is there are times we don't go through the rules that pertains to
Oh, we have lost you.
We can't hear you
Hello.
properly. You keep cutting,
Hello.
so please, yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes, we
can.
can hear you.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that there is the need for us to ensure that we go through the regulations of these social medias too. Because sometimes when we flout some of these regulations, it goes against us. And
Yes.
for whatever reasons, yes, it tends to go against you. So you can, like you said,
Okay, we lost you again. But I
the lady was
understand that.
asking
Yes.
categorically what must she do. Few questions have been raised over there. She finds out where she flouted or what went wrong from those questions. Unless they are not there, then she could personally put in a technical issue question to them. But as it stands, they always come back to you kind of. If it's a technical issue, they come back to you and say, oh, they've given you a wider audience because they have fixed one or two issues. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for that contribution. Okay, so yes, my final slide, and I think I showed this last week, that knowing and understanding the digital space and how it evolves should only urge you to put your organization online. Today, 7 out of 10 people in Ghana are online. And when you come to the cities, you can actually say that 9 out of 10 people are online. So it's a safe space to be in terms of helping your brand to grow. If you are not there, you must start now. If you have one platform, try and consider 2 or 3 platforms. If you don't have a budget, allocate some budget to good content and sponsored ads. If you are spending on one channel, spend on additional channels. If your channels are saturated, explore new channels. And if you are doing all these things by yourself, I recommend that you get help so that you can really grow your brand online. Right. Thank you very much. I would leave the screen for the next session, which shouldn't take much time.
Thank you, Alex.
Let me see. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Can everyone see me and hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
That's it.
All right. Fantastic. So excited to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex, for the opportunity, and to everyone who coordinated and have organized this workshop, webinar. It's been amazing. I've learned so much from being here. I wish I was also here on the first day. My name is Queen Esther Michael Hogan, and I'm the founder of Overlook. I love building people and communities. In the past, I had the opportunity to be the communications lead for a nonprofit called I Recycle and Clean Cyclers. Then other opportunities and startups came. And this has actually made me to love shaping stories and designs and campaigns that not just drive people to take action, but brings results. Personally, I'm passionate about merging communications and branding for social impact. So today I'll just be sharing with everyone for the next, let's say, 7 or less than 7 minutes, why your nonprofit needs, or why nonprofit generally needs strong brands. So for my experience as a communications lead, I've come to understand that branding plays a very large role in shaping narratives. Personally, I see nonprofits as products, and that's because you're building something that something people can feel, touch, and see. So I see it as a product, nonprofit as products. And that was why when Mr. Alex was talking about product marketing, I was smiling because actually relates. So as products, every product that wants to do well has to have a strong branding, and product without strong branding often struggles. Strong branding equals trust, visibility, and action. So we'll be doing a short, it's something very short. Before I go on, can everybody see my screen? Because I know I'm sharing it.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So this is a case study, which is the power of typography. So I would just want us to use the comment section and share with us, amongst all of these, which one will you take action when you see it? Maybe you're driving on the way and you're seeing young people with placards, making statements, saying things, and you're just driving, you're on the run to work or to the airport. Which of these will catch your attention to not just understand what they are doing or what is happening, but for you to actually take action in your own small way? So we could just use the comment section and just share. So I'll call the lady with the placard A, then just like that, ABC. Will the picture A make you take action immediately when you see it? Will that of B make you take action, or C? Okay, I might not be able to see the comment section. Please, can someone help me to like share which of them is making the moves? A, B, or C?
I'm seeing C. Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
C. Yes. C. Yeah. Last one. Okay.
Okay. The reason why that
Is visibility part of our answer, because it's not so visible with the writings, but the other three I think are a bit okay. The first one wasn't, the one you called A wasn't so visible.
Yes, that's actually the power of typography. So in communications is very big. And for nonprofits, little things like our typography, which involves font, the way we structure our text for placards, the colors we are using to communicate, the language we are using, like colors. When I mean colors tell a lot of story. If you're using, let's say, red to say, oh, climate, people might see it as danger. Colors really play a lot of meaning in campaigns. So if you're using, let's say, green for period care, not everybody, unless you're like trying to do something abstract, not everyone will be able to relate, because most often time, what actually like aligns with period is red. I'm laughing because for a start, and maybe, okay, if you're trying to do like a regional based conversation, you would have to like probably use the color of that region to like make a statement. So little things like typography has power. The kind of font you're using. The first lady with her placard, that's a calligraphy that most often is used in as signatures. So having to use that as for a campaign that you're trying to make people take action, you will not allow people to really relate. First, some persons will struggle in reading it, and the next, some people might not even take action because you're driving and you're like, what is she writing there? And you just keep going. One, she has lost an audience that would have taken action in stopping pollution with their daily life. Another, she has made that campaign, she has watered down the effects of that campaign. So as a non-profit, when you are putting out your campaigns, be it on social media or you're having a walk talk on the street, you're doing something around people, community, whatever, let your text be very clear and bold. That's why, so that people will be able to see at a glance and take action as their life progresses. So why is this very important? Why is it that as a non-profit founder or leader, you have to like build strong brands? There are so many reasons, but the one that really stood out for me is, first of all, trust. People will trust you when you consistently show up, when you keep doing what you're doing. And another is that it brings visibility. I know one of the benefits of having to create content around your nonprofit is that people would actually understand what you're doing over time. Not every nonprofit, generally the sector nonprofits can be a little bit not interesting, but it's our duty to communicate it in a way that people will find it pleasurable. Like, I actually do like this nonprofit. And the more people like your nonprofit, the more they want to like invest in it or be a part of it. It's easy to call out for volunteers, easy to get funding, because people are now clear about your message. Oh, this is what they're doing. They're saving the planet by getting plastics from everybody. They're partnering with companies that use plastic bottles every day. Like, people are now understanding your message, but you have to consistently do it. You have to consistently show up on social media. You have to consistently keep building, because consistency is what will make you rank in the, even I think Mr. Alex was also sharing about SEO. I think he did. But in reality, like, as you keep showing up, people will begin to like, you're ranking in the heart of people towards that problem or challenge you're trying to solve. So in that there is online SEO, and I'll say there's an offline SEO, more of like ranking in the heart of people in the problem you're trying to solve. So as a nonprofit, you must build a brand that, by consistently showing up, because it will make people trust you, to make people understand the message you're passing, and overall you get funding for your projects and campaigns, which will lead me to my story called, I initially said I'm the founder of Overlook, which is actually pronounced as Overlook. Like, it's from the word, why did you overlook that? So, but we just respelled it. So last year I had the opportunity to represent my country, Nigeria, out in Kigali. So particularly, my friend made me attend the African Union, I think by Egumeni Hall. So that was where I met Mr. Alex, and he was sharing wonderfully well about SEO, but he made it to a larger scale. So at his conversation, he was sharing what he has done for hospitals outside in diaspora. And that inspired me and made me to, wait, since I'm in non-profit space, I could actually niche down to non-profits. And that was how, when I came back to Nigeria, I said Overlook. And thank God I was able to connect with Mr. Alex while there. So it was easy for me to share my success story with him. Oh, this is what he shared, and this is what I've been able to do. I was excited about it. So what is Overlook? Overlook is a social media and branding agency for nonprofits and social impact projects. The difference between nonprofits and social impact projects is that sometimes social impact projects are temporal, they are one-off, but nonprofits is like consistency. And in nonprofits, you can have diverse social impact projects. Sometimes most politicians might go with social impact projects than having like a full-time nonprofit, because nonprofits, like, it takes a lot of registration, it takes a lot of consistency and investment compared to like social impact project that could just be one-off. You can collaborate with other nonprofits to do. Actually, Overlook exists to help nonprofit leaders, people who are like driven to like tell their stories, amplify their voices, and align their work with the global goals like the SDGs and the African Union 2063 goals and the European Union priorities. I know currently there is an alliance between the African Union and the European Union. So many times, as a global-oriented people that we actually build to not to just align. As we are solving local challenges, we are having like the global goals in mind, so that we don't like shoot ourselves in the foot, because the world now is coming together to like create circles of goals that people, if you're solving this, oh, this is the goal you're aligning with. So you just align to actually, and to make the people, the recipients of your organization, benefit from what these goals have. And it actually makes you to connect with other people who are doing the same thing. So I'll always advise nonprofit leaders. I understand that some people are not really comfortable with the SDGs. They feel like it's still colonialism and all of that. But I'll still advise that you should still align your goals. Or if you're not interested in SDGs, there is the African Union agenda that you can still tap from, since we are still Africans. So I just want to share a little bit about the things that we've done since November last year. Yes, November 2024. So this is what we've been able to do. One of our key services is branding, and that involves choosing of look fonts, colors for a brand. So the first I would say is Embracing Confidence, is a women community for trailblazers here. And the essence of Embracing Confidence is to help people connect. We have conversations around confidence, how women can really put their foot forward in the things they are doing. And on the left or right, depending on how you're looking at this, is Cure Africa. It's a nonprofit that started to solve, I think, non-communicable diseases in communities without so much advantage. So we helped them actually like create their logo for this, and we chose colors that were in line with Africa and health. So we now combined it. So for Embracing Confidence, we help them with their community building strategies too. So I'll go to the next one, which is Internship. Nonprofits. Our Internship is a nonprofit startup that depended on us to not just design, but actually launch their first initiative. Then for Oak Heart Africa Education Foundation, we designed for them and actually went forward to helping them create their website. You can check Oak Heart Africa Education.org. So finally, I would say thank you so much for actually giving me the opportunity to share not only my story, but what I do. Thank you, Mr. Alex, for sharing so much on that day last year. Your perspective actually did influence, and it's actually making other people benefit from the founding of Overlook. And thank you so much for this webinar that has been created by its amazing organizers. Not only do I look forward to working with everyone, I also look forward to connecting with us all on social media and being a part of whatever project you're working on. Thank you. I don't know if there'll be questions. I'll be excited to go through it.
Okay, so Esther,
Michael,
could you share your social media in the chat for us so that we can follow you as well?
All right, ma'am. Doing that now.
So thank you very much for your time. We've gone over our time, but I'm sure people have questions. So we're just going to give extra 15 minutes for questions. But before that, we are going to share the feedback on Zoom. So I'm just going to launch it. It's just a live feedback. So please answer it for us so that that will help us to evaluate the webinars that we do. So that the feedback is shared, the quiz is shared on the screen. So please answer it for us truthfully as possible. So Alex, I'll just leave it to you if you want anything else to talk about. If anybody's got a question to ask, please feel free. And thank you very much for your time. I know there's so much that you could have shared, but because of time, so I'm just going to leave the floor for you, Alex. If you want if anything more that you want to throw light on, if anything more that you want to talk about, we're just going to be there for the next 10 minutes. If there's any question, just put it in the chat and Michael will answer.
All right, so thank you very much again for the opportunity. I love the participation. It was a very good one. I know there are quite a lot. Last week when I was talking, I said this should typically be like a 6-week program where we can take the various actions and then dive deeper into them. So for example, we could pick newsletters and then go deeper into how to build newsletters. We could pick social media, go deeper into it. We could pick website, we could pick content. So this is just to give us an idea that there is an opportunity online that we can take advantage of as non-profits. We don't need to leave the space for just the banks and the telcos and the FMCGs and the retail shops. We also have to be there, and there is so much opportunity. So thank you very much for coming and for participating. I know there will be other sessions, so when we put out the invitation, feel free to register and then participate. Thank you very much.
I just want to quickly remind you that at the beginning you said you were going to demonstrate. I think that there's a question that you answered about.
Oh yes.
Yes. So if you can, yes.
Let me quickly do that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, good. So on my screen, I have just logged into the newsletter, the MailChimp newsletter. Now, the lady asked if they can export their Canva platform, the Canva design into MailChimp. And on the left pane here, when you come down to the last menu, it says integrations. Now, when you click on integrations, it allows you to integrate your other platforms into MailChimp, and there is Canva here. So whatever design that you create in Canva, when you integrate Canva into the platform from the MailChimp, you are going to be able to send the design that you have made on Canva through the MailChimp, as I explained last week. So you can actually explore this function. This feature is actually free. So once you sign on to MailChimp, you can explore that, and then you're able to connect your Canva to the MailChimp newsletter. I also said I would show us how the Canva platform looks like. So let me quickly look for that. I believe you can still see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. All right. So this is Canva. It's just going to Google and type canva.com and it will open the interface, but you will first have to sign up. So you will sign up onto it. Now, when you sign up, it gives you a vast array of designs and what you want to do. These are existing designs that I have done on Canva. But if you want to create new design, it gives you a whole range of templates that you can use. It's very simple. If you want to start from scratch, you just pick from the top here what design you want to use, and then you start designing. But if you want to even use an existing template, you come in here. If it's CV you want to write, they have a template for it. If it's a flyer you want to make, there's a template. If there is a video you want to make, there's a template. Anything you want to do, you can find a template here that can help you do it. This platform it has the free version and the paid version. So the paid version, they've put this icon here, meaning that you have to upgrade before you can use the template. But the templates that don't have any icon like this on, you can use them freely. So you scroll down, there are a host of templates depending on what you want to create. If you want to create a threefold flyer, you can just come here and type it. I need a threefold flyer. So I think I did an example, create threefold flyer brochure design. It will pull it out for you and then you can actually use it. Now, when you find the design, you just click on it and then it takes you to where you can edit. So this is a video. Let me go back and then I pick a regular flyer. You can also edit the videos also and then save them. So let me pick this flyer, for example. Okay, so this is a pre-designed flyer. And okay, this one is supposed to be paid. So before I can use this, I have to pay for it. So I'll go back to a free one. Okay, so this one is free. I go to customize. Good. Now, once I come here, all these things will be, all the text and the images will be editable. So instead of this text here, I can change the text. So as simple as that, you change the text, you come down here, you select the text, you delete, and then you can write whatever that you want to write. So it's very, very easy. It's just a matter of spending a lot more time on it, so you can figure out all what these features mean, all these menus, what they mean. It helps you take full advantage of the platform. So this one has a particular background. If you want to change the background, you can just click to change it. So I just wanted to show you what the Canva is. If you need to set, let me look for. Okay, so if you can still see my screen, you will notice this is a whole newsletter template that you can actually take advantage of. Let me see if I can find some free ones. Yes, this is a free newsletter template that you can just come in here and then delete and edit. So okay, so this, and I'm saying we probably will need a whole session just to go through how to design some of these things. They are not difficult, but you need to spend a little more time to know how they actually work. You can change images as and when you want to. So I have some images in stock that I would want. So I just selected the image and it's here. I'll just come and then replace it with the image that was there. You can edit all the text. You can actually enlarge this so you see it well and edit it. Anything you want to change on this design, you can change it by yourself. When you are done, you just save it. So you come. Okay. So Michael, I think we can close for now. If we can schedule another session just to go through the design works, that would be that. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. I mean, that will be very, very good. So we'll talk to you behind the scenes and we'll agree on a preferred date so that we can all benefit from this. So once again, thank you very much to both our facilitators, Alex and Quinesta, for your time today. I know there's a lot that we could have learned, but obviously because of time constraints. NCV Ghana, we have a platform of nonprofits. So we've shared the link there. If you want to join our nonprofits professionals network, you can click the link and join us and we can continue the conversation from here. So we'll share the recordings of this webinar to everybody that registered. So just in case you did not register, you can leave your email in the chat for us. But once again, thank you very, very, very much. I mean, it's been a very, very informative session. And hopefully we'll see each other very soon. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queen Esther. Thank you so much. God bless you. And we'll meet again very soon. We'll talk to Alex and then we'll come back. Hopefully before the end of the year, we'll try and arrange 2 more so that we can have. But just before, I think somebody left a question that I think he mentioned. I don't know whether he's still on call, but he mentioned you were going to explain what the analytics means basically, how to interpret analytics from social media. I think if I can just quickly explain that to him. I don't know whether he's still on the call, but I think we can all benefit from this answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So social media analytics, just like any other analytics, is the activities that you have undertaken or the activities that you undertake and how your audience also engage. All those things are recorded in a way, and that is what is presented to you as analytics. And it helps you to make decisions. It informs you about what is happening. So, for example, if you go and you see there are 2 million people following you, and 50,000 are males, 60, and then the rest are females. It tells you that, okay, you have more female followers than male followers. Is that what you want? are you okay with it? If you are not, then you need to do things that will, if you want to have equal gender, that means you need to do things that will attract more males to follow you, so you can have that equal number. If you have a particular post that doesn't get a lot of engagement, you don't need to repeat those posts. So you will know from the analytics that this post is performing well, that post is not performing well. Because when you go to the dashboard, you will see the posts that are getting more engagements. And then you can decide to sieve them and say, if any post is performing under this level, I'm not going to repeat that post. I would rather concentrate on the posts that are giving me more attention. So that is what analytics is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you information about what you are doing and how your audience are engaging. And based on those information, you change your tactics so you can achieve more with your results.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We can't thank you enough. Sorry.
Akofa, there's a hand up. Akofa.
Yes, Akofa. Yeah, Akofa, go on.
Yeah,
Aman.
thank you. Thank you so much. I put my question in the chat box as well. I asked the question concerning uploading of the PDFs from Canva into MailChimp instead of designing from scratch, because I use Canva to do the newsletter. So
Okay. Sure. So like I explained,
yeah. But I didn't get your explanation clearly today. So I guess maybe watching the replay could help me. And then I'll try my hands on it with the Canva and the MailChimp.
Okay. I'm sure you reach out to Michael, and then I can get in touch with you directly, so we can
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. So just in case anybody wants to reach out to you for more explanation, can we share your contact with them, or how do we go about it? Okay, great. We'll do that. That's very, very good, Alex, because I'm sure people have a lot of questions to ask. So just like I said, we'll reach out to you to try and organize something more like of a demonstration, like the MailChimp and the Canva, and a proper demonstration, so that we can have our hands on it. So once again, thank you very much. You've taken too much. It's almost 2.5 hours. So you've taken too much of your time already. So we'll leave you and then we'll continue the conversation. Thank you very much for your time. And thank you everyone that joined. Hopefully we'll organize another webinar very, very soon, and then we'll send the invitation out. Thank you very much. Let's all enjoy our day. And I also want to encourage us that all the things that we've learned, it's very, very important that we put them into practice, because that's the main idea. We started putting that in practice last week, and we are going to continue. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll leave
Thank you so
the
much.
thing on for some time.